Hello, and welcome to another episode of Biased Against the Propaganda with your host, Dexter Black. Today, I want to talk about a recent article by the Mail online asking what is the truth about COVID deaths, and furthermore, loved ones do reveal that they believe their dead loved ones were wrongly certified as COVID death virus victims. Okay. Very odd that this all comes out now when it was common knowledge for the past year that this is really what's happening. Now that we're in the midst of vaccination, mass vaccinations, now all of a sudden, conveniently, all this comes out when it was available for all to see. Why do I say it was available for all to see? Well, on the government website itself, on the 12th of August, it says everything quite clearly, and within the first 28 days of testing positive for COVID, which is a very dubious endeavor. And if you listen to my last video, I'll explain why. I will explain why there. But briefly, PCR tests are very unreliable. They have over 90% inaccuracy, and tend to make people believe that they are infected when they are not. Basically, and so that anyone with this kind of who was unfortunate enough to have taken one of these PCR tests and it come out positive, if they died within 28 days of that in the UK, you're down as dying ostensibly from Covid-19. Of it, these terms mean nothing all of a sudden, even though they're very, very significant ones and have different meanings, serious ones. This article, though, does something else, and this is the same 12th of August 2020, where it moves in England anyway, to the 60 days mark, widening the scope for finding COVID deaths. So therefore, we make you take these tests and force you to do these tests and make you think it's imperative that you take these tests. Once you take them and be found positive, more likely falsely positive, and you die, as people die every day, that's what you're down as, COVID death. This is inflation by definition, and this is the sly con that we've been under for a while. It's about time people woke up to it. Don't know what people are waiting for. On the 28th of March, the retired Dr. John Lee, I'm quite thankful for, because of the following information on viruses and the way they're recorded, revealed that actually there is a new method with regard to COVID-19 and the recording of their deaths. It's a respiratory disease which brings on pneumonia, the same way flu does. But the difference is, if you're a cancer patient, say, and your immune system has been weakened to the point where you do catch the flu, or influenza, as it's also called, you will catch pneumonia. The same method which you would, if you did catch COVID-19, you would catch pneumonia. The difference in both of these circumstances is the fact that if you were the person before now who was already a patient of some kind, suffering from a stroke or maybe cancer or whatever it might be, and your immune system has been broken down to that point where you are infected with influenza, the flu, and you catch pneumonia, you still go down as dying from whatever it is you contracted in the first place, i.e. cancer, stroke, whatever it is, not the respiratory illness. The difference here, Dr. Lee outlines, is the fact that replace that flu with Covid-19. Now, I personally believe you're going down twice. That helps heap up the death figures. So even if you contracted Covid-19 and you were a cancer patient, you're going down as dying from the cancer as you would normally if it was flu. But since it's Covid-19, not only do you go down as dying from the cancer, but you're going down as dying from Covid-19 as well, which is how they managed to get these peaks, these weird death peaks and excess deaths, I think they were called, not too long ago. And that's the cheat, isn't it? And Dr. John Lee confirms this. I really hope I'm not misrepresenting him in any way. If he is, or if I am, please put it in the comment section. I don't mean to do it. I don't mean to misrepresent anybody. I just think that what I've seen there is more or less, I'm just trying to assess it and say it quickly, because it's very articulate what he's written here. And further evidence to this seems to me comes from the NHS records, the spreadsheets, which you can find England wise anyway, and you can see that actually deaths from are only about 3,442. Again, all the links will be below this video, and you can see in front of you now the spreadsheet as well, and it's under the no column. No underlying illnesses, which is consistent with what Dr. John Lee was saying, I believe. And even if you do add in all the rest of them, they don't really touch the size anyway. So even if I were wrong, there'll have to be explanations for all that too. But anyway, I think I am right, and I think it's very consistent with what Dr. John Lee is saying. And as I'm not an expert, I have to rely on Dr. John Lee. And I must emphasize the retired Dr. John Lee. No one to answer to for now. Anyway. Also, ordinary flu seasons. There is the flu season, I believe, is from October till March. So 1 year to the following year, March. And what we have is a situation where the first death with COVID-19 appeared on the 5th of March 2020, celebrated on the government website, which is also below here, and which you can see on your screen too. From there, we're almost a year further, and obviously over double the amount of time you would have for your average virus season here in the UK. If that's not cheating, I don't know what is. I think that's quite obvious. So of course you're going to try and get the numbers up that way. Oh, call it pandemic, yeah, well. So of course you're going to get your numbers up that high. Right about now, COVID deaths in England are over 100,000 apparently. As I beg to differ. The visual evidence in front of your eyes from the NHS hospitals themselves shows you that that's not true. It's a small fraction of that amount. 3,442. Okay? These are lies being told by government in conjunction with any statistical conveyor you can find. So that's solid proof right there. Disproves all that rubbish as well. And then the Tory MP Paul Bristow has the audacity to come out and say it's almost certain that a number of deaths have been wrongly attributed to COVID-19. Almost certain, he says. Almost certain. Do you hear the man? Ridiculous. It is certain by definition that that's what's happened. You've defined it yourselves in your own website, on your own government website, for goodness sake. There it is, in black and white. The 28 days and the 60 days. So yes, road accident, false, and you are a false positive, you're going down as COVID death. What's wrong with people? I don't know. It seems very odd to me though. Now the thing that it pisses me off the most about all this, and it should piss you off too, is the idea that this is all incompetence. Or shall I say, it's all due to incompetence. We should blame the government not for anything else other than they are just incompetent. Absolute rubbish. Myself, I'm not paid to know this stuff, yet I know it. I earn nothing from knowing the details that I've been giving you now for the past almost 15 minutes. Okay? How the hell does Matt Hancock not know this? And yet he's paid to be health secretary. It's not possible. I don't think it is. He must know about this. He must know about this. It's not accidental. Okay? These kinds of slip-ups or alleged slip-ups, they're not slip-ups. There is motive behind it. How can I know it? He doesn't. Rubbish. I can account for everything, and he cannot. And he's the one being paid thousands per I don't really know how much he gets paid, but he must get paid quite a decent sum with all the investments as well in vaccine companies, and the government even own one. I'll get into that in a different day. Prove it to you again. So no incompetence. This is rubbish. Do not ever use that term. Well, use whatever term you want, but I think you look stupid if you say that the government are incompetent. They're not. They're very competent at getting what they want through psychological manipulation, as we can see, and that's the SAGE document, another topic I'll get into eventually one day, which was hidden initially because of they hid that one document and then released the rest and say here look all the things we've been talking about. Where SAGE, the scientific committee, masters of manipulation, in other words. It's graceful. There's so much here. There's a sensationalist motive. Initially, at this point, I believe it was all to make people take vaccines, to get people scared and get people to take vaccines, and impose control in the form of an authoritarian framework on society. That, I believe, is true. And yeah, it's a brief one, but hopefully you like it. And all the evidence is there, by the way, as usual, beneath, not just the screenshots, but beneath the video as well. And please, love, hate, I want it all. And why don't you put it beneath this video in the comment sections? Yeah. Cheers. Bye.